إسرائيل منذ بداية الحرب على قطاع غزة استهداف العلماء والأكاديميين.
Epistemicide generally is understood as a process of trying to destroy knowledge-producing systems and the knowledge that they produce as well. So in the Palestinian case, from the very beginning, there was an attempt to kind of hinder the development of knowledge-producing systems in Palestine. So in addition to trying to, ethnically cleanse it of human beings, there was an attempt to stop Palestinian society at large from producing knowledge, from being able to kind of articulate its own situation. Nowadays, of course, we see in the last 2 years, as the genocide of Palestinians in Gaza has escalated, that there has been a very pointed targeting of universities, of hospitals, of cultural actors, and really any sort of element in society that is involved in the production of knowledge, whether in a formal sense or in an informal sense. And so in order, for Israel to sort of claim any sort of legitimacy, it does need to stifle the ability of Palestinians to articulate their experiences and to build a base of knowledge that can be liberatory for them, for Palestinians, Even if you think about it at a practical level, the destruction of universities, it doesn't just entail the destruction of buildings and, of course, in a more sort of like acute sense of knowledge producers, academics, scholars, teachers, students. But it also, for example, entails the destruction of archives. It entails the destruction of records, transcripts, which means that even people who survive, these like very direct physical forms of violence will struggle to then continue to, say, for example, enroll in a university abroad because it may be difficult for them to access their transcripts. And so it kind of goes also hand in hand with attempts by, I would say, states that are complicit with the genocide of the Palestinians to also find other ways of inhibiting Palestinian knowledge production. And so, for example, like if we talk about, let's say in the UK, the PREVENT strategy, which puts very clear lines on sort of like the ways that scholars are able to engage, for example, with Palestinian resistance, or even different sorts of institutions or actors or organizations that produce knowledge on Palestine, even in Britain. And so in that sense, epistemicide is a fundamental aspect of genocide. The creation of Malmab, which largely is dedicated towards, hiding the evidence of what atrocities took place in kind of establishing and creating the State of Israel and things that happened thereafter, also kind of comes as part of a long tradition of colonizing states attempting to hide the evidence of their crimes. And so the kind of hiding of evidence is also a part of the very typical functioning of a colonizing state in a place.